So today's lesson the title is 1.5 Postulates and Theorems relating to points, lines, and planes. And I'd like you to set up your notebook like this with your glue in and divide it into 4 equal sections labeled A, B, C, and D. Now today you're hopefully assigned the letter A, so this video is for Jigsaw A. And the theme for our video is going to be the Avengers. So these are all the Avengers. Of course, you know all of them. And only the ones that I know. I don't know them very well. I didn't see the movie. But if you thought it was good, you can, tell me about it after this and tell me if it's a movie I should see. Okay, let's get started. All right, there are 2 things you're going to be teaching your group about today. The first is, what is a postulate? You're going to be learning about quite a few of those today. And the question is, what are these things? Well, these are accepted assumptions without proof. And the without proof is important. So these are things that they assume that we agree are true. Things that we assume are true. All right? Now, the second thing you'll be teaching your group about today is postulate number 5. What I'll tell you is the same thing I'm going to tell the others in their videos, is that your group, your textbook calls this postulate 5, but I'll never ask you to recall that it's postulate number 5. In fact, I don't really care what the name is. Depending on the book you read, they may have ordered it differently. Maybe this is not postulate number 5. Maybe it's postulate 6 in another book. So I renamed it. I'm going to go ahead and move Spider-Man over here. There's your Avenger. I renamed this also known as the point postulate. Okay, so I just made that up. It's an easier way for me to remember exactly what they're trying to teach me here. Okay, there are 3 parts of the point postulate, all having to do with points. The first one, they're pretty basic, so don't be too stressed. The first part of the point postulate says that a line contains at least 2 points. At least 2 points. That's it. That's the first part. And that seems pretty obvious. The second one refers to a plane. So now they're going to say a plane contains at least, they're going to talk about points again. So how many points do you think a plane has? It has at least, it's 3 points. But there's a special added part to this. So those 3 points, they can't all be on the same line. On the same line. Now that kind of adds a little bit, it's a little more confusing with that part in there, but I'll draw a picture of that for you in a second and it'll make a little bit more sense. The last part of the postulate 5, or the point postulate, is that a space, and that just means kind of like a location. A space contains at least, well, now we're doing 4 points. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. At least 4 points. And those 4 points are not all in the same plane. In the same plane. Plane. Okay. So let me move this up a little bit. So those are the 3 parts of the point postulate. Now I've drawn 3 diagrams here that I'd like you to copy that go along with your postulate, and let's go ahead and draw them and make sure we understand. So here's my line over here. Here's my line. It says a line contains at least 2 points. So that means to define a line, you need at least 2 points. And since we have Spider-Man over here, we'll call this S and P for spider. The second portion says in the point postulate that a plane must contain at least 3 points. That's easy enough to draw. So here's my plane. Put in 3 points there. Maybe this will be I, D, and E for, I almost spelled out spider here. Oops. Erase that part. Okay. And the last one, I wanted to go back to this really fast. It says they're not all in the same line. If these were all in the same line, then it wouldn't define, let's say, the width. So right here where it says they're not all on the same line, note that while I and D are on the same line and I and E are on the same line, if all 3, I'll go ahead and draw, let's pretend D was here, then it would just make one straight line. So you would lose that width of your width of your plane. Okay, last but not least, space contains at least 4 points, so I'll just go ahead and draw on those points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a space is not a plane, it's just a think of it as, you know, a larger location. And we're missing R, so spider, M-A-N. Wow. I didn't think that would happen, but it did. Pretty cool. All right, that's what you'll be sharing out on.